So, welcome to the channel, and this is a lovely dear friend of mine, a lovely sweet soul that we've been in contact for years now, but we've never actually spoken face to face. We follow each other on social media, and we keep in touch that way. And one of Debbie's posts popped up the other day, and I thought, oh, I haven't spoken to her for ages. I'll drop her a message. Then I thought, let's get her on the channel to have a little chat. So, welcome to the channel, Debbie.
Hi, welcome. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for
You,
an invite.
oh, you're welcome. Thank you for accepting. I just thought it'd be really nice for us just to get together. Like I said before I clicked that record button, that we've known each other for such a long time, but we've never actually spoken like this face to face. It's always been via messages or just seeing posts. So, and obviously you're a Reiki master, plus you do the Holy Fire, Karuna Reiki, Shamanic Drum Reiki, women's circles, spiritual circles, and all that sort of stuff, and the counselling, of course, as well that you do. So let's just get going. And how did this all start for you?
So my Reiki journey started 18 years ago. I lost two parents at the same time, my father-in-law and my dad, and I was depressed really, and I was sat in a conversation with some people and they mentioned Reiki and I didn't know what it was. But I
Mm,
had to find it. It was stuck in my head. What this Reiki word? It could
mm.
have been a biscuit. I tell you, it could have been
Yeah.
anything. Just the Reiki
Yeah.
word was stuck in my head, and I was intrigued to know what it was.
Mm,
Because I don't even think I was much present in the conversation. I just heard the word Reiki.
yeah.
So I went to college to pick something up for my son. Or my son was at a gig in his college, and I walked in and there, and the desk was a Reiki course.
Ah.
And I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I booked the course to find out more.
Mm,
Even still then it didn't dawn on me what it actually was.
right.
And yeah, I went. So at the time I was at college, and somebody said to me, "Well, I'm Reiki. Try a course with me." And she did a Reiki session, and I cried, and she passed it passed to her. And she went, "Oh my God, whatever's going on with you, I'm really sorry." She said, "I just want to hug you." I was like,
Mm,
"Oh, okay." I didn't understand then,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
because I was just new to it.
Yeah.
So obviously I did a lot of self-healing. I did Reiki, Usui Reiki level 1.
Mm,
Then I did level 2 with a different practitioner. So level 1 was done at college. Level 2 was done with a different practitioner. There was 4 people
mm,
in a room and house actually, and that was really nice. And then I did level 3, Usui Reiki, and then level 4. Some people only do 1, 2, and then masters, but
yeah.
I did master practitioner. We got a
Yeah.
different, we got a Tibetan Reiki symbol, which is Dumo or
Right.
um yeah. So I did that, and then I did Reiki masters, and then I took Karuna Reiki. Karuna Reiki is level 1 and 2 Karuna Masters. So
Mm,
Karuna Reiki, you get another 12 symbols. I absolutely love Karuna Reiki.
yeah.
And then, so William Rand is Karuna Reiki, devised Karuna Reiki. He was sat with Reiki Masters. William Rand is a guy I follow, and he was sat with loads of Reiki Masters, and they channeled the Karuna symbols.
Right.
And then um, years later, he was sat with Reiki masters again, and they channeled the Holy Fire, which was the Holy Spirit, which is actually the Holy Spirit. So it's Christ
Right.
consciousness, basically.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and even the tool of having the Holy Fire is I just love it. I absolutely love the Holy Fire because as a Reiki master, and you would know Reiki masters put the symbols into you behind, okay, it comes straight from my higher guides. I don't have interference. I just say send and it goes. So it's a
Right.
lot more refined, more pure. Not saying that Reiki masters are not pure. I'm not saying that. It
Yeah.
just is.
Yeah.
And then I can go outside and I can. So now, so attunements are now called placements.
Mm,
So you get a Reiki placement instead of an attunement. So it's a slightly upgraded energy.
mm,
Okay. And um, so if you was to do following the lineage that I follow, okay, so you do Usui 1 and 2 in a weekend with you get manuals like these, okay,
mm-hmm,
and then if you go on to do Usui Holy Fire. The Holy Fire is the new master symbol. The master symbol is the master practitioner symbol. You also get 8 meditations, 4 ignitions. It's done over 3 days. So day one, you come, you receive your first Holy Fire ignition. For me, that just strips you of everything. That's what I felt anyway.
Mm.
Not everybody feels the same, I know, but I felt it stripped me of everything. Day two, I was implemented an ignition in the morning, an ignition of the Holy Fire, and then day three, you get another ignition. In between that, you start off with uh, so it was the River of Life, but now it's been upgraded to the River of Peace. So I had another upgrade last year to the River of Peace. When you step into the River of Peace, all the symbols get installed in the River of Peace,
Right.
which is pretty amazing. You can swim in the fire, the holy fire as well. You can see the
Ah,
fire
right.
around.
Okay. So
Some people do.
is it like a visual experience?
Yeah,
Is it?
well, yeah. There's. I don't always see, but I have seen a lot more since I took the holy fire.
Yeah.
And there's also 8 meditations.
Right.
Well, one of the meditation obviously is the peace, the river of peace. So
Mm.
you wouldn't use that with anybody, only
Only
in
for
when
yourself.
you're doing your masters. But then
Right.
you've got 7 other meditations. So these 7 meditations you can use on yourself as well as on others. So when I'm working with a client now, I'll use what you call a holy fire experience. So the holy fire experience will just go through your body and clear
Right.
everything out. I take people on a little journey, it's a meditation, and
Mm.
ask them to relax and receive this beautiful white energy. It's like a white light. Some people see the light, they say, "Oh my God, it was like I needed sunglasses on when I saw the
Yeah.
light." So it's really
Yeah.
powerful. And the very first time I used it, so like, do you know when you get something new and you want to share it with a friend? So I
Mm.
just said to her, I rang her up and said, "Okay, I just got this new Reiki attunement. Would you like to try some?" She went, "But I've already tried your Reiki." I went, "No, no, you need to try this." So she went, "Oh, go on then." So I said, "Would you like to try a meditation?" She went, "What do I have to do?" I said, "All I need you to do is just lie down and relax, as long as you can hear me." So I walked her through the holy fire, and then I sent experience, and then I sent it her. And then I put the phone down and I rung her back, and I said, "How was that?" And she went, "How was that?" She said, "Oh my God, I was swimming in my mum's womb as a baby." So it took her all the way back to
Right.
childhood. And she
Right.
said she saw all this. She can see quite when she's doing meditation. She sees a lot. So there was a black mass in her energy field. She said, and it just went, this white light just went through it, took it out. I was
Mm.
like, wow, wow. I was like, wow, okay, that's
Wow.
interesting. Obviously, that was the first time I'd used it and thought,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, this is powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and then you can go out and okay, so sorry, going back to the meditations, there's 4 holy love meditations. One of the holy love meditations can actually clear what was going on before you were born between your parents.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
used that on a few people. So obviously that's what I do with for the dogs. I
Mm.
just send them um and they just clears them all the way back.
Yeah. So how do you, if you were sending it to a dog, do you use is it like a meditation that you use in your mind?
No, I just ask it. No, I don't even do that. I just say, okay, guys, that dog needs a holy fire experience, and off I go. I
And then
don't.
it just does
I
what it
just
needs
yeah,
to.
because
So
for me,
it's like
yeah,
intention based then.
yeah. For
Yeah.
me, if you don't, um, it's like when we've got a client, okay, we're trying to heal them. We're not supposed to, but we're trying to help our way. But
Mm.
for me, if you let it go, that's nothing more purer. There's no interference,
Yeah.
and the Reiki will do what it's meant to do without
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
interference. I'll just go, okay, guys, this dog needs a holy fire experience. Can they have it now? Thank you,
Yeah.
holy fire, and I leave it. You know,
Right. Okay.
and that's all I do.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just to try and formulate it in my mind, and how it
Yeah,
would
no,
work.
no,
But
yeah,
it's exactly the same principle of just the intention,
yeah.
just let it go.
Just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as the intention's pure,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
can even clear houses with spirits with
Yeah.
the intention, because the holy fire, it'll just go everywhere. I've done the house clearings.
Yeah.
Um, I think my one of my most amazing achievements was, okay. So I had a client and she booked 4 sessions of Reiki,
Mm.
and she went on a second session. She came and she said, "Oh," she said, "I'm so upset." And I said, "Oh," I said, "I'm really sorry. What's wrong?" She said, my mum's had a heart attack. And I went, oh, I said, that's awful. I said, I'm really sorry. I said, well, if I can help, right, how would you feel if I sent your mum some Reiki while I'm
Mm,
doing your, you said, can you? I went, of course you can. So I sent her, and I sent her mum a Holy Fire experience at the same
mm,
time I was doing her. So somehow I linked into her mum and I wanted to cry. And I just
mm,
said, your mum's really sad. She went, yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I
mm,
went, well, so off she went and told her mum. Well, the mum says, well, I'm going for some Reiki. So her mum's 84, comes for some Reiki.
mm,
And she said, I've done Reiki 1 and 2. And I said, oh, that's interesting, years and years and years ago.
mm,
I said, "Ah, okay. So when I did um, my Reiki on her, she said to me, oh my God, she went, felt like a dirty person stepped out of my body and floated away. I was like, wow, okay.
wow.
So she came again and she said, she went that, she was crying when she came round. She said, oh my God, that was amazing. And I said, are you all right? She said, yes. She said, I was floating in all this yellow stuff
Mm,
all round. And then I came back into my body and looked at my own eyes as I came back in. And she was
mm,
sobbing. She was, and I went, oh, I said, I hope you're okay. She went, no, no, it was just beautiful. I can't tell you how
yeah,
beautiful it was.
yeah.
So then I said to her, so I said, Eileen, she would call. I said, Eileen, I said, why are you so sad? I said, is
Mm,
it because you've had a heart attack? She went, no, no, it's my grandson. And I said, she said, can you help him? And I went, but yeah, okay. If you tell me what's wrong, I might be able to. She went, well, she said, um, he had a trauma and he has to be watched 24/7. And all he does is sit in his room. And this was 10 years ago. And I said,
mm,
I'm really sorry. I said, but if you want to tell me what the trauma is, I might be able to help.
yeah.
So she said, apparently, which was really, really sad. So his dad's a painter, and these thieves broke into the house and tied his mum and dad up, battering them with baseball bats and tied the kids up upstairs. How horrific is that? Do you know what?
Yeah.
And I said, no wonder he's
Yeah.
traumatized. She said, well, he's had shock treatment, he's had counselling, he's had psychology, and they can't do anything. She went, can you? But I said, of course I can.
Mm,
So she said, right, okay. She said, what do I have to do? And I said, well, just leave him with me. Leave it with me.
mm,
So I sent a Holy Fire experience for him to clear the trauma. And all I say is, Holy Fire, I've got this young lad. He lives in such a place. I didn't even know where the house was. And, he's had this horrific trauma and I left it. So when I saw her again, I said, how is he? And she said, how is he? She said, oh, she said his dad going to work with his dad. And I said,
mm,
well, that's good. I said, do you know what I'm going to do now? She said, what? I said, I'm going to clear the trauma from the house. She went, why? And I said, because if they're still in the house, the trauma's still there.
it's still there, yeah.
Because it's like an entity in the house. She
Yeah.
went, all right. So I just sat and I said, right, Holy Fire, we need to assist this young chap. I said, and I went through, I just said, I don't know the exact details. And I said, I know he's had this horrible trauma from a burglary and being tied up. And can you just go around the house, clear it, especially his bedroom?
Mm,
And then I left it. And
yeah.
she came to the house about a month later, my flat, and she was so excited. She went, oh my God, oh my God. She said, it's just like something switched in his brain and he's normal.
Mm,
He's just normal. She said, it's
yeah.
like, and I said, well, I said, that's amazing. She went,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And this year he's gone on his first boy holiday. She said, he's even got
Oh,
a job
wow.
and he's
Yeah,
going to the
excellent.
gym. She said, he's gone
Oh,
on the boys' holiday. She said, it's like a different. She went, thank you so much. I went
yeah.
to her house last time. She showed me a picture of him at her 85th birthday.
Mm,
She went, thank you. She said, it's
wow.
like we've won the lottery. She said, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful,
So,
beautiful, beautiful
yeah,
happening. Yeah. That's amazing. It just shows how much power is in this stuff,
yeah,
that we use,
it's
and it's
incredible
yeah.
energy Reiki, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I know I do some house clearings with the Asui Reiki that I use, and
Mm,
and it's been the connection that you get with the property, even though it's wherever it is, it's amazing, and the stuff that you feel and what have you, and then you tell the client what you feel in certain areas of the property, and they were like, "Oh my God, how did you know that? Oh wow, oh yeah, I feel that when I'm in that area." I said, "Yeah, that's all the stagnant energy that's locked in the property."
yeah,
And then you do your clearing and what have you. They just and one of the most profound ones is just like where within months the whole house had just transformed. They'd got rid of all the clutter. They chucked loads of stuff out, and it was all that old stuff that was just sat around, and it just it's stagnant energy. It's just sat there, and just transformed the home totally transformed the home. So yeah, it's amazing. It really is. So when you had your, I know you don't call them achievements, but like your placements and with the holy fire and what have you, um, did you feel a difference to the Assyria achievements with them ones? Or what was the
Yeah.
difference? And what's the difference with the actual healing as well? I mean, do you do hands-on healing with that form of
No,
Reiki as well, or is it all intention and just
no.
send it?
So I sorry, I'm cutting into you there. So when I use Karuna Reiki more than anything, so I chant the symbols, I do all the symbols, and I hold the symbols. The symbol will do the healing. I don't
Right.
have interfere. I chant the symbols, oh, nah, and drop it and hold
Yeah.
it. Zone and drop it and hold it. And the zone actually takes the clients out of the bed, out of the body. I've realized
Right. Okay.
that's what's happening with my clients. It's like having surgery, basically. When
Right.
I've
Okay.
done with my, I've had so many people say to me, "Oh my God, you've just done surgery on me. Do you realize?" Or
Mm.
I'm floating, I'm out my body, you
Right.
know. So it's like, wow, okay.
So which part of with that happening, is it the is it the physical body that's receiving healing, or is it the actual spirit that's left the body that's receiving
So
the
it's the
healing?
spirit. It's the spirit. Well, when we astral travel, don't we? So it's just the
Yeah.
spirit that comes out and it's and goes off on a journey. I've had some incredible journeys with people's feedback. Do you know, like I was doing my sister circle, okay, with my drum. Obviously, my energy goes through my drum as well as being tuned. And 9 women in a circle. So for Reiki, you start off a meditation and you take them to a bridge. Now 9 women in a room all saw a different bridge. It's amazing.
Mm.
9 different bridges in
Mm.
a room, you know, and they all go off and do their own journey. And um, three of the women, one of the women said, "Oh my God," she said, "you did surgery on me." She said, "It was so intense, I wanted to cry." She said, she just had a hysterectomy. She said her
Right.
womb was on fire. She said she could see the fire in her womb. It was
Yeah.
on fire. She said,
Yeah.
but they felt like they were prodding and poking inside her. She said, but
Mm.
then they started on my leg. She said, they like opened my leg and did fire on my leg. She said,
Wow.
and then another lady said her back. But then another lady who was in the circle said, "Do you know what? I enjoyed it today." She said, "I've never done anything like this, and this is a sister circle." She said, "I would, but I didn't get any healing." I said, "Well, you will have had. Even if you didn't
Mm.
feel it, you will have got some." So
Yeah.
apparently she went home and just sat there, and the energies just surrounded her as she sat down with a cup of tea.
Ah,
So
right. Okay.
she just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant that, yeah,
Received at the most appropriate time, so just
yeah,
chilling with a cup of tea. Yeah.
yeah.
She
And
might have
after
been
she'd been,
maybe at the time in the circle, maybe she was two in her head or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah, and
yeah.
she just could have been frightened because she'd never been to
Yeah.
something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
when I do a
Yeah.
sister circle, I go and we do a chat and a share, and then I do a soul retrieval with my drum, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
That's it's amazing really because it really shows the power and the connection of the Reiki and the actual shamanic healing as well because the drumming obviously creates the trance, so you go into the trance
mm,
state and it creates you create the visuals, you go on your
yeah,
own inner journey that you're going on, and that's basically what the
yeah,
shamanic journey is all about is
yeah.
that. So that's absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that 9 people had 9 totally different
Experiences, yeah,
experiences because we're all unique. We're all going to have a different unique to the next experience to the next person. Um, but they're all perfect and they're all beautiful in their own way.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's
that's what you're meant to get at that
it
time.
just
So
it and it just blows my mind, like every time, how
yeah,
powerful, and I love listening to the stories that they go and visit
yeah,
people,
yeah.
Um, I had one lady here and she had lost. Oh my God, I felt privileged to have held that space for her. I knew she'd lost her son in a tragic accident, but her son was here holding her hand. And then
Mm,
a 6-week-old daughter was here, and her dad was here, and a twin brother that passed away. They was all around the bed while I was doing Reiki, and I was like, oh my
wow.
God. I was just
Yeah,
blown away, I was so touched that, I could hold that energy for all that to happen for her.
yeah.
And when that's with the drum, but I was with a client, and obviously I started chanting the symbols. I chant them, and the client said, she said, as soon as you started chanting, she said it was like people from the other side could come round the bed. She said, and
Mm,
everybody's passed over was round my bed. She said, and they were all saying
right.
hello to me. And so that's interesting as well, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
did she see them or did you see them or was it
No, I
both?
didn't. I don't. I very rarely see much. Ian,
Yeah.
to be honest, but she saw them because it takes you
Wow.
into the zone. It takes you out. The
Yeah.
zona symbol, Karuna
Yeah.
Reiki, takes you out of your body.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
like an invisible anesthetic,
Yeah.
and it's that takes them my clients out of the body.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's
Uh,
just it is amazing. So like I was saying earlier, the lady who came who had a heart attack with me, she had a heart shut down to 30%. This is what they told her. Okay, a valve in a heart shut down to 30%. 2 sessions with me, it was back to 50%. And
wow.
she went to the hospital and they went, that's Mark'll recover. The medication must be working. Well, they're going to say that, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah,
They're
exactly.
going to
Yeah.
say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how much of the actual because they don't want to know about energy, they don't want to talk about energy, they just want to talk about the physical and that's
Yeah,
it,
of
you know,
course.
and
They're
all that they
scientific,
know.
though, aren't they? I guess a
Yeah,
lot of them are scientific, and that's how they've been trained.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, the trauma that we hold in our body, the emotions that we hold on to, the stuff that we don't work on, and the majority of people are just go day to day pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down, not realizing how much of a debilitating effect it's actually having on the physical body. So,
Yeah.
so the fact that people, you know, we're here to try and help on some level where we can, you know, and it really opens. That's why I love doing these chats and these podcasts, especially about Reiki, because it just opens people's eyes to what it is, because a lot of people still don't know what it is. It's a relatively new art anyway, but also to what it is and the power of it and how we can use it and how we can help not just ourselves and friends and family but the world around us. It's such a beautiful and also our animals, our pets. You know, so we just chatted before we came on cam, and you were telling me a couple of stories about a couple of dogs that you'd helped with the Reiki as well. Do you want to share them again?
Yeah, yeah. So I was saying I was on a holiday and I was staying in a caravan and I've been to this campsite before and they've got two Rottweilers. Well, two, they had one at the time. What they did, the one had passed away and the dog was limping. And I said, "Hey, your dog's limping. Is he okay?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, he's getting old. He's 11." And I said, "Okay, do you want to tell me his history?" They said, "But he's 11." And I said, "But it doesn't matter." I said, "The trauma from losing your other dog will be with him.
Mm,
And then they got him when he was 4. So the trauma of being abandoned and the abuse that he had will all be in his energy field." And I said, "Okay, I'll clear that." And he said, "Well, we're not expecting miracles." I said, "It's okay." And off I went. And as I was walking my dog, I just send the Holy Fire experience, what it's called.
mm,
And I just say, "Okay, I'm walking." And I go, "Okay, the Rottweiler guys need some healing. So let's send him a Holy Fire Reiki experience." And off I go. And then I went the day after, the guy knocked on my caravan and he said, "Oh my God, he's not even limp today. Thank you very much. Next
mm.
time you come," he said, "we'll give you a night be off your bill in your van. And
Yeah,
can you do some Reiki for us as well?"
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And also I was saying, last year it must have been about October, I was walking through the park and again a dog came to me and he was a black spaniel called Bob. And he was plodding, and his head was sort of on one side a little bit. And I went, "Oh, what's wrong with your dog?" And she said, "Oh, he's on his last walks and he's not going to be here much longer." And I went, "Whoa," I said, "I'm really sorry." I said, "But I feel he's come to me for a reason." And I tried to explain what Reiki was. And I don't know if she knew or understood. She said, "But
Mm,
if it helps, please do, we don't want to
mm,
lose him." And I said, "Well, he obviously is not ready to go because he's come to me." So she said, "Okay, do whatever you think." And so
mm,
I was walking through the park. I carried on and I just said, "Okay, Reiki, we've got a dog to help here. Let's send the Holy Fire Reiki experience for him, for
mm,
Bob." And I left it at that. So a couple of months went by and I was in the park and there was a lady called Pauline who's got a little white Westie who I had actually done some Reiki on him as well. So the Westie was old. She's 12, and she was attacked by two Dobermans got out of a garden, and they
mm.
ragged her. She had 32 stitches under her belly.
Oh, bless her.
And I heard, and I went round, and I just said, "Look, I feel I need to help. Let me."
Yeah,
And she didn't understand what Reiki was, but she had some for the dog.
Yeah.
And she said she slept for 12 hours. And when he went back to the vet went, wow, it's a remarkable recovery of your
Mm.
dog, do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, going back to the other dog. So Polly knew who I was. And she said, can I pass your number on? She's really looking for you. Not realizing why she wanted it.
Yeah.
And she eventually got hold of me and said, oh my God, she said, it's a miracle. She said the dog had lymphoma. I
Mm.
didn't know that. They never told me that. And she said that the vets went, oh my God, your dog's recovered.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle. And we don't know why and
Yeah.
can't tell you why. So she just said, well, I bumped into this lady and said she was doing Reiki on my dog.
Yeah.
So she said, so anyway, she actually brought the dog here
Oh,
and
lovely.
he had a Reiki session, and he was still here. I saw him in May, so that was
Right.
like he'd been given another 9 months. If not, I don't even know if he's still here. But
Yeah.
and when I'm sending distance Reiki, I always send him some his way,
Yeah.
just in case he's still. But still, he got longer than what they anticipated.
Yeah. I
It's
think
just
any way that we can help our furry friends is just like I think our animals just touch our hearts so much that we just have
yeah.
to, they give us so much love and so much companionship and joy, that we have to give them that back. So yeah, bless you
Mm.
for doing that. That's beautiful.
when
Really
I'm when I'm in the
beautiful.
park in the morning, I walk my dog and I send it to the trees, to the birds, the
Mm.
squirrels, the
Yeah.
bees, everything that's in the park gets my energy in the morning. You
Yeah.
know, so um, I did. Funny enough, when I done 9 rites of the monarchy, and the meditation that I got was incredible. And I don't always go into meditation. All these animals, my guide flew in. A white eagle was my guide, and he came down and he just opened his cloak and all these animals were bowing to me. And he said, these animals are bowing in your presence. And I was like, oh my God, really? And I was blubbering.
Mm.
I was blubbering. And
Oh,
he went, yeah, you don't see who you are. These animals, there was every animal you could think of. And they were
yeah.
bowing to me. And I saw that. And
Yeah.
he went, they all hold you in so much regard.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. So maybe that's why I'm getting animals coming in now for some
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Are you Blast- are you a certified animal Reiki therapist as well,
No,
or is it
no, I'm
just
not.
something you just do?
I just something that I do. So I might have to get certification for
Yeah.
going to this animal sanctuary. So I'm looking around for that because um, William Rand is Holy Fire is really expensive. You can do your courses with him, but you're talking £1,400
Mm. Yeah.
to do his courses, which is
Yeah.
fair enough. He obviously values that and his teachings, but my highest course is £500.
Mm.
So like and I've been able to do Reiki on animals since I started my Reiki journey. The
Yeah.
animals come, and you're
Yeah.
not going to say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not certified." Are you? You're just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to. So
Yeah.
William Rand has actually devised a course now for animals, Holy Fire Animal course,
Mm.
and I think it's £600 his animal course.
Mm. Yeah.
And then there's masters, but I think the masters one you can go into zoos with that, I believe.
Right. Okay.
But maybe that'll be something down the line. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I often wonder about that because I think, well, when you're attuned to Reiki, you can give Reiki to anything basically. So
Yeah.
I often wonder about the animal thing, but maybe when you're working in, vets, zoos,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
you
yeah.
need that sort of level of
Yeah,
certification.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, what I said, what I could do with the animal sanctuary that I'm going to be working in an animal sanctuary. That's just going to for animals. And what I will do, I will say, um, come for a Reiki session and bring your animal for free. So it's not.
Right, okay.
So I'll get around with it
Yeah,
that way because people come here with their animal
yeah,
and I don't charge them. I've had a
yeah.
couple this year come here with their animal and I've not charged them for the animal. But
Mm,
they just said, oh, can I give you something for the animal? And I said, I don't really, but yes, you can if you want to. And I've
yeah,
left it at that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, beautiful. What a
yeah,
lovely way to be able to help. Um, but yeah, I mean, because you also do the trauma counseling as well
yeah.
and counseling. So how do you is that something that you use separate to Reiki or do you incorporate them together? And
So I
because it,
guess I just because my energy is in the room when I'm with a client. Okay, when I started my counseling training, which is really quite funny, I was with a client and he was really getting angry, and I was like, wow, I wish I could use a Reiki right now. And just because I thought of it, it activates, doesn't it?
Mm.
And it's the intent. And he
Yeah.
just simmered down. I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I had to go off to my supervisor and go, this is what happened, and I'm supposed to be counselling. And she
Mm.
went, you know, I didn't want, because I was training, I didn't want to break anything, any rules or anything, because it's really strict, isn't it, the BACP stuff. So she
Mm.
just said, oh no, that's part of you, who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I went into a supermarket one day and there was a gentleman at the store in front of me, and he had two children and twins, and they must have been maybe three. One of them
Mm.
was having an extreme paddy, and I just went, oh, bless. And I sent some Reiki
Mm.
babies away. And it instantly shut up and went and sat down. It's like, okay.
Oh
And
wow.
bless.
Yeah. 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 So
So we
when
have
did you start learning doing the counseling training? When did you
Well,
actually
I
start
started at the
that?
same time as my Reiki journey.
Oh right.
I was
Okay.
doing counseling anyway.
Right.
Um, the counseling and Reiki, I mean, you can offer, when you've got a client, you can offer them different, you can offer them like different therapies. So they can have
Mm.
counseling one week, they can have Reiki the other week, they can have
Yeah.
shamanic drumming, they can have, but so as a counselor, I've taught myself to take a client back into a trauma
Mm.
to clear it. So when I'm doing trauma work, it's like my heart just locks around them. I don't know how
Mm.
or why, but it just locks around the client. Okay, so I am a friend of mine who's a medium, and he comes for Reiki, and he can see the flames around him, which I can't, but he
Mm.
can see the flames. Anyway, he said, "Can you help a friend?" He said, and I'll pay for his session because he's not got a lot of money. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, Jason. I said, I'll do it for free. You do a lot free for other people. I
Mm.
don't mind, you know. So this guy came, and it's really tragic, really, what happened. He allowed me to share it because I asked him to, so it was okay. So um, this guy was a medium, okay, and as a medium, he wanted to talk to his son who died,
Mm.
but he couldn't. And he'd been to loads of mediums, and they couldn't help him either. So he said, "Well, can you help him?" And I went, "Well, yeah, of course. You know, if it's a trauma, I'll help."
Yeah.
So he came for a counselling session and a Reiki session. I did both, and I just said, "Tell me about the trauma." And the really sad he was. You know, I wanted to cry. He lost his son at 2 days old. Okay,
Mm.
so and I said, what had happened was the hospital had said you need to turn his life support off, and
Mm.
if you don't, we will. And can you imagine how horrific that must have been for that
Mm.
guy?
Yeah.
Anyway, so God, it still makes me sad when I think about it. Anyway, I took him back into the trauma by just getting him to do some breathing,
Mm.
and obviously my heart was locked around him by this time, and I
Yeah.
was really it was in my energy was just right around him, and I said, can you see what's going on? And he said, yeah. And I said, what's happening? And he said, they've asked me to turn the machine off. And I said, just tell them to go away, leave you, go and pick the baby up, tell him that you love him. It's not his fault.
Mm.
And just sit there with him. And then I brought him back round and I said, are you okay? And he went, no. And I said, right, okay. We'll sit here all night if we have to. Let's
Mm.
go back. And I took him back in.
Yeah.
And he sat, and then I saw the light, and the light came down. The
Mm.
baby was still with him. The trauma of the soul was still with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I released that soul, and
Mm.
I was like, oh my gosh, that was so powerful.
Yeah.
And then as I started the Reiki journey with him, I do a bit of a meditation. This was before I was even doing Holy Fire Reiki. I took him on a little journey. Like I just say, oh, see yourself when I start my Reiki, you know, do some breathing. Just see yourself walking outside. There's a river, get on a boat. And I did that with him. And on the boat was I could see a little boy. And I thought I knew them. And I
Mm.
thought, wow. And I just said, there's somebody waiting for you on the boat. And then I could feel this energy in the room. It was like how can I describe a very cheeky energy, like
Mm.
light energy. And
Yeah.
he said, I saw my son grow up when you did the Reiki on me. How beautiful is that?
Wow.
Well, he's got now
Beautiful.
got contact with his son. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. It's really interesting when I do sort of I haven't done anything like that, but when I do the hypnosis and I take people back to a certain point, or if there's an emotion or some sort of trauma that's locked in the body, and you take them back to it, and you can actually, because I do a lot of the work via Zoom, and you can actually see it leaving the body as they're
Wow. Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
it.
Brilliant.
I'm just seeing it like in my mind's eye, the actual energy is lifting and leaving the body as they're talking through it. It's just leaving the energy field. It's real, and it's right what you're saying when you say you have that, you feel your heart around them. I know when I'm working with one-on-one clients, or when I'm doing distance, or even when I'm doing hypnosis as well, I feel that sort of it's like a bubble that's around us, regardless of distance. It's encapsulated as,
Yeah,
because there is no distance at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah,
It's all now. It's a beautiful way to be able to help. So that's amazing, really amazing. It's wonderful work. Well, it's not even a work; it's a pleasure, isn't it, to be able
yeah,
to be able to do and to be
yeah.
able
Of
to
course,
help.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was that. Like I said, that was a free session, you know. So
yeah, yeah,
he obviously got a lot out for it, and he got to meet his son that no other medium could bring through.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Mm, interesting. Very interesting. So how does the do you work with a lot of mediums through that sort
So
of?
the reason how I got no, well, I don't actually, but a friend of mine who is a medium, he comes, so he comes here. You know, he sometimes comes for Reiki. He's called Jason. Bless him. He's a brilliant medium, and he comes here to be cleared. I
Mm,
mean, and he even said one day, like, okay, his guy said you need to go and have some Reiki, and he said, okay, I'm going to such a, but he went, nope, you need to go and see Debbie, and he said, but Debbie's miles away, well, she's not. Yeah, but I don't want to go. He said, but his guys say you need to go and see Debbie. So I said, okay. So he said,
just
I've come to
go,
see you.
do as you're
Yeah,
told.
his guys told him to come and see me. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So he came to see me.
And
And
how
then from
far
there,
away is he from you?
it's not far, really.
No.
Um, I've actually done some work with him once. To tell you, this is a different story. How our energy works though, as healers. A friend of ours had a parrot, okay, and the parrot belongs to the children that she's a foster mum. So this parrot brings a lot of joy to
Mm,
these kids. And this particular day, the parrot got out and it was missing, and the kids were breaking their heart. And I just sent him a message, and I went, Jason, we need to go and see the parrot.
yeah.
And he said, well, do you know, funny enough, I got up this morning and I was supposed to be going somewhere. And my guy said, you're not going out today, Jason. He said,
Mm,
the next minute you messaged me and said you need to go out and help. So we went out and we came across this parrot, and it was going to be that night -4, so that parrot would have died.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had to go out, and we found him. Like we found the parrot in the garden because he'd been spotted in an area, and he was in a tree talking to a dog. The parrot was so the dog was barking. The dog was barking at the parrot,
Uh,
and so Jason knocked on the door and said, "Your dog's barking at a parrot." And he went, "No, he's not. There's nobody in the garden." And he said that I can hear them having the dog's the parrot's talking to this dog. The dog's
yeah, yeah,
barking at the parrot.
yeah.
So anyway, um, yeah. Anyway, the parrot flew out of the tree when we tried to get it. So it flew onto this building, okay, and it's on the ledge of this building, and it
Mm,
was getting dark by this time, and it was going colder and colder. And we said the parrots, we need to get the parrot.
yeah.
Anyway, we said let's knock on this factory. It was a factory roof. It was a
Mm,
factory window, like a sill, and we knocked on the roof on the door and said, "Can we go in? Our parrot's on you." Well, not our parrot, but the lady's parrot. It belongs to some little kids. They're breaking the heart. And they
mm,
said, "No, you can't come in." They said, "Nobody's in this building." Blah blah blah. And they said no. So I just went, right, guides, energy, Reiki, whatever. We need to assist with this bird. And then the next
mm,
minute, the guy came back and he said, "Oh yeah, you can come in. One of you can come in." So he took her up to this floor in this factory, and there's a window open, and they couldn't get it. Anyway, he said, "Well, I'll let you break that window. It's got a crack in it. Break the window." So they broke the window, and they got like a basket on a rope and tried to get him, but they couldn't get him. He was just weren't having. You could hear him talking, but
mm,
he was only talking really, really quiet now because you knew he was tired.
yeah,
Anyway, the cage, a partner turned up with the cage and got the cage and got the ladders. The parrot had some ladders in the cage, so they took the ladders and they held the ladders up down to
yeah.
him. And he got on the ladders, so we got him in. So
Oh,
how
phew.
amazing.
Yeah, phew.
They got
Thank.
him in and just shows how powerful our energy. Because one minute they said, no, we can't come in. And it's
Yeah,
going, right, guys, we need some help.
yeah,
And
yeah.
They
yeah.
got the parrot
Oh,
back.
yeah, you
Yeah.
had me on the edge of my seat there. I was thinking, I hope this parrot gets saved. It better get saved.
Yeah, it was -4 though, -4.
Yeah,
It
I
wouldn't
know.
have
It would have
survived.
died, yeah,
Yeah.
because
So we
the
obviously
tropical, aren't they? The tropical
when I
island.
was sat thinking, oh, how can I help them? I got my guides and went, you need to go look for it. And I thought, okay. And I just messaged Jason, come on, we need to go look for the parrot.
Yeah,
And he went, okay, I was supposed to be going such a bit. But my guide said, oh, Jason, you're not going anywhere. So it just
yeah, yeah. Just
parrot
shows
guides
you.
that people don't understand them though. They but
Yeah. So how do your guides communicate with you then? And
I
is it
don't really know I don't really have much connection with my guides, but
yeah?
they
Do,
must.
when you need
When
to
I
get the
need them, I just
message?
hope they're there. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You're obviously more in tune than with your guides than I am with mine, but
It's
I
nice.
know they're
I
there.
like the that you said you have a white eagle because I know one of my guides is an eagle as well. Not a white eagle, like it's a golden eagle, the ones with the white head.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and a wolf, and then a couple of other people that I know about, like uh, Hayoka Native American and a Tibetan
So
monk, and
so my eagle guide, he comes in. I see him come fly in sometimes, and then he drops down. He's actually White Eagle, the Native American guy.
right.
He just comes in his full gowns, and he's always taking the mickey out of me because because I am. He's always saying, "Ah, she's just a one-woman circle. Drumming circles are supposed to be loads of people, but she's on her own." And he goes off. It's like taking the mickey. Thank you.
They do that actually. They are quite
Yeah.
cheeky at times. Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I know it's just the other day I was watching something, um, and I'd already watched it before, and I was sat there and I was just talking away to myself, and then I was aware that I was talking to myself, and I could hear my guide say to me, "And who are you talking to now then?" And I was just like, I don't know. I'm like, I talked to myself. I'm talking to you. I couldn't work out. It was weird. I was sort of like in two places at once. It was really bizarre. Yeah, it was random, but funny. Yeah, it can be really funny. So yeah, so obviously you do your women's circles. Whereabouts are you based? I know you're in like the
So
northwest.
I'm in Shaw, near
Uh,
Oldham, Shaw. So I was a
oh
little,
yeah, like sort of Manchester-ish
yeah,
sort of.
Manchester, yeah, northwest, I think it is.
Yeah, northwest.
Not
Yeah,
far from Manchester.
yeah,
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 in the
yeah,
Pennines it is.
yeah.
So
And I mean, if anyone wants to get in touch with you from seeing this video on the channel, I'll link all of Debbie's links below, so you can get in
yeah,
touch with her website, social media, things like that. Um, and yeah, but it's been lovely to chat to you today. It really has. It's been lovely to connect after however long it's been, to actually speak like this. So
yeah,
yeah, so is there anything else that you wanted to say today, or anything that you wanted to add?
yeah. I would, yeah. Just come and learn Reiki. It will change your life. It will.
Mm,
You might
yeah,
not think so at first, but it does change your life. You can learn Reiki with me. Um, one level 1 and 2 in a weekend as practitioner.
mm,
And it's a lot of energy, and people absolutely love this. They always say, "Oh my God, it's like having a mini retreat with you, isn't it?" Yeah, yeah, yes,
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Obviously, when I learnt Karuna Reiki, okay, Karuna Reiki used to be level 1 and 2, Karuna Masters. It's all in one now. So Karuna Reiki it's just a one big healing
mm.
package all in one. So there's a lot of
That's
energy there.
sorry to interrupt. That's something I wanted to ask as well. I know we were messaging back and forth as we were planning up this chat,
Yeah.
and you'd said that the Holy Fire is now incorporated with the Karuna Reiki,
Yeah, yeah. So you
or
get
vice
whole
versa,
it's
or
holy fire. So you get so okay. So if you do Reiki with me, it'll be level 1 and 2, okay, and then you use the holy fire,
mm,
okay. So the holy fire is the new master symbol. Then you do holy fire masters, which is with the Karuna Reiki. So it's a higher version of the holy fire as well. And you
right,
also get peace Reiki with that as well, with both of them. And you also get online Reiki, so you can teach anywhere around the world. Um,
right, okay,
I've had some amazing achievements.
mm,
One lady stepped as soon as I started doing the meditations. She not everybody's religious, I know. The Holy Spirit is Yeshua's energy, whether you see that as a angel or whatever beliefs you have. And he was there waiting for her. And he just said, I've been waiting for you forever. And he gave her the biggest hug. And then this light body came down and she
Mm,
stepped into a light body. How amazing is that?
mm. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
But
amazing.
like I said, when I learned it was you saw it, sorry, it was Karuna Reiki 1 and 2. You went away for 12 months, come back and did Karuna Master. But now it's one package, 1 and 2 masters all in one package. It's a lot of healing. I
Mm,
split it up for a few people because it's done over 3 days, but I have split it up because it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of
mm,
healing and it's a lot of energy. And the best thing though, you can use symbols on yourself. I chant the symbols. I use the symbols obviously with my clients. They use it for surgery, and there's some powerful stuff that
mm.
heals the cells and cellular stuff and past life stuff.
Yeah.
With I've
Mm,
actually saw a past life actually when I took my last gym. It's like wow, okay, I was at this I was Guinevere. I was like, oh my God, who was that? And they said, oh, I thought it was Queen Victoria. They said, no, that's Guinevere. I was like, oh, am I Guinevere? And that's really bizarre. And I saw myself as a knight, and I thought it was somebody else, but then and it was amazing. It was just showing all these random
mm.
things. So I actually saw some of my past lives, which was interesting.
Because Guinevere was King Arthur.
His wife,
Yeah, wife of
Arthur's
King
wife.
Arthur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's who I was in a past life, apparently. I was like,
It's
wow,
funny you should
okay.
funny you should say that about a night as well, because I was having a Reiki session with my friend Lucy in town yesterday, and we take turns, and like sometimes I'll go first, then she'll go, or she'll go, then I'll go, or whatever. Anyway, I went first, and I laid down, and she just started the Reiki, and I saw a knight. Like I had my eyes closed, I just saw a knight just stood there, like in the corner of the
Oh,
room. And I said to her, I said, "Oh, there's a knight just there." And I said, "I could see him so clearly, and he had like the whole armor, the chainmail. I could just see his face with like a beard, and what have you." And then so far through the Reiki session, it was almost as if, when people talk about Archangel Michael using his sword to cut cords and things like that. Well, this knight pulled out his sword and sort of like went along my body. And it was almost as if all these buttons just popped off my shirt or whatever, but it was actually, I'm guessing it was like cords that were being released, and
wow.
that's what I
That's
was that's
powerful,
what I
isn't it?
was
Yeah.
visualizing. I was like, oh, I've never seen anything like that before. That was amazing. Yeah, but and I've never seen a knight before, so I just thought the fact that you said a knight, I thought, oh, that
Maybe
resonates.
he's one of your guides then, you know.
Yes, well, that's what Lucy said. Maybe he's one of your guides, but I was getting the feeling that he was one of her guides.
Oh,
That's what
or
that's what I was
maybe,
feeling. But if he was, then, but at the end she did like sort of like an angel card pull for me, and it was Commander Ashtar that came out, the kind of commander of the fleet, and he's used for like sort of protection and clearance as well, energy clearance, a bit like um, Archangel Michael. So I thought, oh, maybe it was him, but in an armor, and that's my way of seeing him, in armor. I don't know, but yeah, it was interesting, powerful. It was lovely.
oh,
Yeah,
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 beautiful.
yeah.
So my youngest student is 16.
Oh wow,
She's
excellent.
American and she had amazing experience when I actually sent it. So okay, so before I tune anybody, I clear them first with a holy fire experience. So I clear them. I don't put any attunements in without being cleared first. And as I cleared her, she went. The angels took her up and they gave her to Jesus. And then when I did the attunement, he was walking. Oh, sorry, he was walking on. She saw him walking on water, and he said, um, "Come to me, child." And she went, "I can't. You are walking on water." And he says, "But I am of you. You are me.
Mm,
Walk to me, child." And
mm,
that's really powerful, isn't it? And she
mm,
did. And
yeah.
then the actual attunement, okay, she went straight to God. I was like,
Wow.
wow. I said, how did you know it was God? She said there was this massive big ball of energy
Mm,
in front of me. And he spoke and she said, who are you? And he said, I'm God. I am you, you are me. I'm gonna give you my heart now.
mm.
And that was her achievement. How beautiful is that?
Oh wow. Oh,
16
I've
years old.
got tingles
And
all
it's just
over.
like, oh my God. I was like, wow. She was just like blown away.
Yeah.
And my oldest student is 90.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, so I have because I'm qualified counselor. Okay, my counselling supervisor is 90, He's called John, and he's amazing. You know,
Mm,
he's might be 90, but he knows everything. He's so clued up on counselling and supervising. And
mm.
he wanted to learn Reiki, obviously, because he wanted to know how I work. So we swap. I swap Reiki, and he does my supervision for me.
Ah, right,
So
okay. That's a
he
good deal.
he learned, obviously we learned Reiki, and one of his success stories, okay, so this guy's 90, so maybe last year it was 89, Christmas, he went across the road, okay, and he said to his neighbor, how are you? You know, and give him a Christmas card. And she said, oh, I'm not very good. And he said, what do you mean you're not very good? And when he says, she says, well, my husband's dying. And he went, what do you mean your husband's dying? She said, well, he's not eating for 3 days and I'm really worried. He's got no
Mm,
energy. And I went, so he said, okay. So he says he went back home and just sat and said, look, Reiki, we need to help this man. If he's meant to, please make him eat. So he went to check the day after. He knows his breakfast and dinner. He pays breakfast and dinner.
yeah, it's
So
beautiful.
that's incredible. So that was his confirmation that Reiki actually worked, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's doing Karuna Masters. I'm sorry. He's doing the UCB Masters with me, and
Mm,
his third day is tomorrow. So obviously I'm gifting that package to him
yeah,
because he loves Reiki.
yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I say, like because I carry like the Reiki attunements and placements, I often go out and I'll do the tree placement. I'll drop it into the water. I'll go, okay, let's lift this area, Reiki. And I
Mm,
drop it into the water, qualify placement level one. So the water's attuned to, so everything that goes through will be
mm,
cleansed and cleared.
yeah.
Even when you must think of my mad, you know, when I'm going camping and I'll open the window and go, hey, sheep, want some Reiki? Reiki attunement over the left. Hey, cows, you want some Reiki? Reiki attunement on the right, please, guys. And they must think I'm crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's no wonder the animals love me, is it? You know, hey, squirrel up a tree. Do you want some Reiki?
Oh, it's amazing. That's so good. That's so good. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm going to have to let you go, Debbie, because we could probably just talk forever, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But thank you so much for joining me today.
No,
It's been a pleasure to chat and actually do this and talk more about Karuna and Holy Fire and I hope for whoever's watching it gives people the insight and the inner knowing and wisdom to know that Reiki is real. Reiki is amazingly powerful, and it is life changing and transformative. Your life will never be the same again. You too can be as wonderful and crazy as myself and Debbie.
and
So
me, yeah. I
yeah.
can talk to guides.
So yeah, so if you want something like that, if you want to learn Reiki, get in touch with Debbie, get in touch with myself, and yeah, see you there. But thank you again so much, Debbie, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Take care.